African and Caribbean immigrants $34,000 to return home. Immigrants who are African and Caribbean residents, Sweden will pay $34,000 to return home. They will pay all immigrants who are in the country who want to leave $34,000 to return home. Imagine that. Europe is changing. I released a story about Canada the other day and the visa changes they're making. Up and down Europe, they're making changes to get rid of all immigrants. They don't want immigrants in their countries anymore. And Sweden is making this big change because they have a new government in power, a new national government, what they call a right-wing government. This statement here is saying Migration Minister Johan Forsell made the announcement on Thursday, commenting. This is what he said, the foreign minister or the minister of migration. This is what he said. We are in the midst of a paradigm shift in our migration policy. This is what the minister of migration is saying. He said immigration has become increasingly controversial in Sweden in recent years. And what happened in Sweden in 2022, a coalition government was formed, an extreme radical right-wing nationalist party which promote nationals. They're very strong on European nationals power. They're trying to strengthen their own people, and they joined with a moderate national party to form a coalition. So this is why Sweden is now making radical changes to their migration policy in Sweden. Canada is doing the same thing. England released something the other day, said they will have ETA. Germany is doing the same thing. And you may not know this, but other European countries are paying immigrants to move back home to their country. In other words, they are paying immigrants to leave their country. They don't want you anymore. That is what they're saying. They don't want you anymore, and they're willing to pay anything for you to just leave. Canada is doing the same thing. England released something the other day, said they will have ETA. Germany is doing the same thing. And you may not know this, but other European countries are paying immigrants to move back home to their country. In other words, they are paying immigrants to leave their country. They don't want you anymore. That is what they're saying. They don't want you anymore, and they're willing to pay anything for you to just leave. Up and down Europe, they're making changes to get rid of all immigrants. They don't want immigrants in their countries anymore.
Many know about slavery, but few discuss paper genocide. We did not all come from Africa, and most of us have Aboriginal roots that were stripped away due to reclassification and miseducation. As a Native Black American and a member of the Muscogee Creek Nation, I understand the importance of tracing your lineage. If you want to learn how to trace your genealogy and apply for tribal citizenship, send an email to mike@keymediapro.com to schedule a consultation.
I am not a slave, I was born to slide, I am not afraid. Hop about the K, oh yeah, free to God, they went out of state. I'm a child of God, I do not belong to the United States. For Black History, tell Uncle Sam he can catch a fade. I went to hell, I mean school, graduated at the top of my class. Still never thought I was over my peers. We did that time together 12 years. Ain't that some movie? I think that it is. They won't control me, I'm really a member. I traveled that road, I came back with the jewels for 'em. When I pull up, they pee how the roof gone. We some dog killers, won't chew bones. Know we all spit 'em, we supreme. Somewhere I read a nigga had a dream.
You don't have to try to be something you're not. God, I can't stand this.
Trying to be something I'm not? Trying to be proud of my African heritage? If that's being something I'm not, then fine.
My grandmother was a full-blooded Iroquois. My grandfather was a black from a long line of journeymen who lived in Connecticut since the establishment of the colonies. My father was a Bajan. who came to this country a cabin boy in a merchant marina.
I know all of that, Mama.
Then know this. I am alive because of the blood of a people who never scraped or begged or apologized for what they were. They asked only one thing of this world: to be allowed to be. I gave you my grandmother's name, a woman who bore 9 children and educated them all. Who held off 6 white men with a shotgun when they tried to drag one of her sons off to jail for not knowing his place. And you had to reach into an African dictionary to find a name that would make you proud.
I was born black, I live black, and I'm gonna die probably because some cracker that knows I'm black better than you, nigga, is probably gonna put a bullet in the back of my head.
This is the remix. My father was raised in the era when black niggas couldn't claim Native American. Making music would've thought I had help, but the Indians I know wanna be the chief they self.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hit the like button on the way in. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the Cash App or the PayPal if you support the mission. And let's proceed with the content. You see the title, you see the thumbnail. This is not clickbait. Europe is paying African immigrants to leave. They don't want you there no more. You've overstayed your welcome. They are doing everything within their power to get Africans to go back to Africa. No, no, no. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. I mean, guys, this is interesting. These immigrants just keep coming up on some freebies, don't they? They come to these European Western countries. They get a bunch of handouts, subsidies. We all know how much the immigrants in America are living in luxury with debit cards and free hotel stays. But goddamn it, they're on the receiving end of all these handouts when they come to the country. And then if the country gets sick of them and they want them to leave, they're willing to give them up to $34,000 to go back to Africa.
My friends, welcome back to my channel. Sweden will pay African and Caribbean immigrants $34,000 to return home. Immigrants who are African and Caribbean residents, Sweden will pay $34,000 to return home. They will pay all immigrants who are in the country who want to leave $34,000 to return home. Imagine that. Sweden is a country located in Europe. I was there about a month ago, 2 months ago. You could check that out on my other videos. But let's get back to the story. Sweden's Minister of Foreign and Trade and International Development and Cooperation, Johan Forsell, announced the policy, this new policy they announced the other day, that Sweden plans to boost payments up to $34,000 to immigrants who leave the nation, and that will start in 2026, my friends. Europe is changing. I released a story about Canada the other day and the visa changes they're making. Up and down Europe, they're making changes to get rid of all immigrants. They don't want immigrants in their countries anymore. And Sweden is making this big change because they have a new government in power, a new national government, what they call a right-wing government. This statement here is saying Migration Minister Johan Forsell made the announcement on Thursday, commenting. This is what he said, the foreign minister or the minister of migration. This is what he said. We are in the midst of a paradigm shift in our migration policy. This is what the minister of migration is saying. He said immigration.
Yeah, peep game, guys. We are in the midst of a paradigm shift. Is code for we've had enough of these Africans and we want them to go back home. Not my words. I'm not a European, but apparently that's the average sentiment amongst the Europeans. I mean, they were having UK race riots not too long ago.
Has become increasingly controversial in Sweden in recent years. And what happened in Sweden in 2022, a coalition government was formed, an extreme, radical, right-wing nationalist party, which promote nationals. They're very strong on European nationals' power. They're trying to strengthen their own people. And they joined with a moderate national party to form a coalition. So this is why Sweden is now making radical changes to their migration policy in Sweden. Canada is doing the same thing. England released something the other day, said they will have ETA. Germany is doing the same thing. And you may not know this, but other European countries are paying immigrants to move back home to their country. In other words, they are paying immigrants to leave their country. They don't want you anymore. That is what they're saying. They don't want you anymore, and they're willing to pay anything for you to just leave their country. And according to another news source that I have here, a number of other European countries already have a scheme to pay migrants to return to their home countries.
Damn. And we know Sweden in particular is paying Africans up to 34,000 to go back home. So that speaks volumes. It's worth more than $30,000 for them to get rid of one single African. They despise being around Africans so much, they feel it's worth over $30,000 per African that they remove from their country. Man, this is crazy. This is madness. And you know what? We got Stino in the building. Hey, Stino, if you're available, I'm going to drop the StreamYard link. You can come provide some commentary as well. I know the audience loved our last live reaction to some African-related content, but this is diabolical, in the words of Stino. They paying the Africans 30 G's per African to go back from whence they came.
With offers in Germany, they're paying immigrants $2,000 to move back home. In France, they're paying immigrants $2,800 to move back home. And in Norway, which is another Scandinavian country, which is close to Sweden, is paying migrants $1,400 to move back home. And in Denmark, which is another Scandinavian country, is paying migrants $15,000 to move back home. Now, Scandinavia is Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland, and those are the Scandinavian countries. And Denmark is a part of Scandinavia. I was there as well. I went to the airport and I went from there to Sweden. The distance is like a train stop away. And Denmark is paying migrants $15,000 to move back home, my friends. So Europe is changing because of the massive influx of Indians.
Hey, these Africans out here hitting licks. These Africans is hitting licks off these Europeans. These Africans, by their country standards, can become wealthy by just traveling. They go to Europe, take one of those floating rafts of some sort and drift over to Europe. They get some money on the way in. Europeans have enough of the migrants. They get anywhere from 2 G's to 30,000 G's USD. I mean, that's a lot of Naira. That's a lot of shillings. That currency conversion in their own country is quite substantial. So these Africans are just hitting travel schemes, immigration schemes. Come on, let's talk about it.
Arabs to these European countries, they're now panicking and they're now changing their migration policy because they are afraid. I was in Sweden the other day And I spent a month in Sweden. I think I spent sometime from July to August in Sweden. And I can tell you the white European population in Sweden is dwindling. They are aging badly. It's an aging population. And you can see the massive amount of Arabs there and Indians are there. And they're having children. They're going to the schools. They're working. And they're having lots of children and family is there. So now the nationalist party is panicking in Sweden because Sweden is a very feminist society. They're very strong, unlike women can do everything men can do. They're strong and empowering their women, and because of that, there are many single family homes in Sweden. The women don't want to have children. They're busy looking jobs, and they're trying to do everything men can do. And as a result, they're not having any children and they're not building any families. So the white European population is falling dramatically. But the
And we just had a Cash App come through from Wendell. Wendell, thank you for the contribution. I appreciate you sliding something in the brown paper bag.
Brown paper bag. Brown paper bag.
Arab Indian population is going through the roof. So Sweden recognized this because it's a modern European country. They know, they look into the future, and they see that if this continue, they will be in crisis. The Arabs and Indians will take over Sweden and Scandinavia, just like they're doing Canada. They will take over these countries, my friends.
Oh, another. Oh.
Hey, it's a tough life to live being an African. They floating through the ocean to get to Europe. Then a few years later, Europe is doing everything to kick them out.
Oh.
Damn, some of our ancestors who do have African roots, they were forced. They were captured by their fellow African, enslaved by their fellow African, and sold to European foreigners, forced on ships, and exported to the Caribbean and South America en masse. And years later, the descendants of those African slave drivers are trying to float over to Europe. Guys, this is a strange paradigm.
Oh. Another. Oh. Oh.
I don't know. I guess sharks don't like African meat.
Guarantee you that they will in the future. Based on what I'm seeing, I was in England the other day and I couldn't believe the amount of Asians that I'm seeing. Obviously, black immigrants are not going to Europe in large numbers.
Black immigrants, you ain't slick. You're not like us. You mean African immigrants. Y'all don't identify as black. You identify with your African country. You say you're Nigerian, you're Somalian, you're Eritrean, you're Congolese. Y'all don't say you're black until we made it something that was globally fashionable.
They're still discriminated against, but they're not going to Europe in large numbers anymore. But the Arabs and Indians are flooding Europe, and Eastern Europeans as well. They're moving around Europe. So Europe is cleansing their population. They don't want any Muslims in their country. They don't want any Africans in their country, any Caribbean people. They want back their pure European society. And as a result, that is why they're coming up with these schemes to get rid of immigrants in these European countries, my friends. And if you're watching up to this stage, my friends, please subscribe to my channel right now. Subscribe to the channel, like it, Share it with all your friends and family. Guess what? We're over.
Mans is hot and sweaty. Is he in the jungle? Did he already take the money and go back to Africa? What is going on?
9,000 subscribers. We just hit 9,000 subscribers about an hour ago. We're over 9,000 subscribers, so we're on the road to 10,000.
Congratulations. Shout out to all the African YouTubers out there.
But back to the topic at hand. Sweden is a very reserved country. There, you could see they like their own culture. They like their own people. The government there do a lot to empower their own people. So they're panicking now with the influx of immigrants, and we are having a new government in Sweden. It was elected in 2022. So they're now responding to their people, and the people are calling for immigrants to be decreased in Sweden. So the government came up with this innovative policy. I never heard of a country paying.
Guys, this is madness. They despise the Africans to such a large degree, they don't want them living in their country at all. We already know when the Africans immigrate to Europe, there's a degree of segregation. They put them in a certain shitty ghetto area. They don't even want them on the other side of town in the ghettos. They don't want them in the country at all. Damn. And Africans have the nerve to get online and make disparaging remarks against Native Black Americans. I always have the same response. Don't you have bigger fish to fry? Don't you have larger things to worry about?
Anybody to go back home. I was in Sweden the other day, and let me tell you, if I knew that they would come out with this policy, maybe I should have stayed. Maybe I should have stayed in Sweden and collect that 34,000 US dollars and come back home to the Caribbean, go to Africa and invest that money. Because let me tell you something, my friends, if you're living in Africa and the Caribbean, this channel is about bridging the gap between Africa and the Caribbean. Anything that will strengthen us, that is what this...
It's a good thing y'all are bridging that gap because, you know, over 40% of the African slaves were shipped to the Caribbean. So, you know, it's very proper for the Caribbean folks and for the South American Africans and Central American Africans to get in touch with their African root. But that's not so important for us because barely any of us have African roots. Again, they say 12 million slaves were trafficked during the transatlantic slave trade, and only 4% went to North America. Over 40% went to the Caribbean. Over 60% went to South America. So yes, y'all are part of some little diaspora. Y'all should get in touch with whatever you got going on. But us, we know our roots, and it's right here in America. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got to pause the show for a moment. Deadpool, your Cash App did come through. Shout out to Snap and Smiles. Thank you for sliding something in the brown paper bag.
Brown paper bag. Brown paper bag.
And we've got a guest coming from the back to the front. Is Tough Stino. Stino, let the people know where you're calling in from and what's on your mind.
Yo, what's good, man? Y'all already know the vibes. It is the toughest of all things, Tough Stino, man. New York City to be exact, Queens to be exact. Yo, listen, man. I just got a question. What's so bad about the African, or as Son was saying, the Muslim camp? What's so diabolical about the Muslim that they're willing to give them niggas did I hear right? $30,000 to leave?
Hey, and honestly, I think he was trying to share some of the shame. When he says Muslim, I think he's still specifically referring to African migrants. I don't think he's talking about Middle Eastern. I think he's talking about like those East Africans who identify as Muslim. Because last time I checked, it was the Africans they were trying to send back to Africa. They ain't trying to send the Saudis back to Dubai or send the red dots back to India. It's the Africans.
Right. Right, because in the same breath he says, "Oh well, the Arabs are flooding there by the boatloads, and they trying to get." And I'm saying, like, yeah, but my question for the audience is, what is so bad about the African? Why they look so down on us, but nobody else wants them, champ? That's my question. Why they look so down on us, but everybody else don't want them in their country? That's my question.
Excellent question. That's an excellent question. Right after this broadcast, I'm doing another live stream. If you're available for that one as well,
I'm here, bro.
It's absolute fair game. But on the next live stream, it's even more egregious. On the next live stream, we got Africans talking about how they're up here and we're below them and beneath them, and we're lazy and blase, blase, blase. And it's like, instead of fixing your homeland, you flee to Europe and then get kicked out of Europe. Like y'all will do everything but clean up your front yard. Y'all do everything but fix the roof that has a hole in it. You'll do everything.
These niggas be risking their life. The last video I was on, when you showed them jumping over that 1,000-foot fence, right? And now I'm seeing this. I'm like, bro, half of these niggas can't swim. Know what I mean?
They're floating through the ocean in hopes of getting to the white man's kingdom. This is just so pathetic.
Son,
we would never
beaming, bro. Like, come on now.
And then they have the nerve to say that they're above us, that they achieve more than us.
When?
Like, what?
When?
Where?
Why? How?
But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, before we proceed with this live reaction, let's cut to a quick commercial break.
This is Avery McClendon. Hi, I'm just giving you a quick announcement and a quick rendition of my consultation meeting with Mike. He was a great person to work with. He's a great genealogy specialist. Kind of mostly confirmed a lot of things that I was doing. And, you know, I still need some help. And it's okay to go for somebody with some help that know a little bit more than you. And I'm glad that I was able to come across this guy's information. The ancestors are in the algorithm. And I want people to understand that his information is legit. His information is the best source. And he can also do tracing for you and give you a whole runaround from the ancestral past. I just want to say thank you to Mike, thank you God, and thank you ancestors for all this.
You to remember this, you not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and the British, man. Quite frankly, you was kings Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners, raised up the children to worship their images, set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them, and this shit get way deeper than your pigment.
Floating through the ocean, man. Wading through the water. They taking wading through the water to a whole new meaning. I see them.
My soul.
Damn.
Niggas.
I die.
Yeah, nigga out of breath like a yo. Listen, man, that sun beaming, champ. Is it worth it? Like when niggas get over here and all that, or they get to where they trying to go, is it worth it? Do y'all forget that y'all came through the trenches? Did y'all forget that niggas had y'all swimming like Michael Phelps through the ocean? Bro, that's an ocean, bro. That's not a sea. That's not a lake. That's an ocean, bro. There's no land in sight. Think about that, bro.
When I go to the coast, I don't get more than like thigh deep. And these
Real
motherfuckers
talk,
is just in the middle of open, deep water. Like, what?
Nah, waist deep. Yeah, nah. Y'all niggas jumped in that water. It's like get there or die trying, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, and at the end of the day, they're dealing with so much. We've helped them. We've sent relief packages and aid and rice and sponsored them and had them as pen pals and everything in between. And they want to disrespect us while cosplaying us.
You need a target. This place is way too cold. You need a target.
Oh man.
This place is way too cold. You need a target. This place is way too cold. You need a target.
Niggas got the fake butter sauce on. I'm tight. Y'all niggas got the fake butter sauce on. Nah, I'm tight.
Hey, Hey, it gets worse and it don't never get better.
Champ.
These motherfuckers is out here with the artificial intelligence doing AI deepfakes, cosplaying as our legends.
Oh shit! What the?
Them Africans turn themselves into Will,
fuck?
Wesley, and Martin with the AI deepfake. Yes.
Oh nah, bro.
You see this shit? They want to be us so bad. Who would have thought that as soon
y'all
as
niggas would do
as soon
anything
as an
but-
African got a hold of some artificial intelligence, they would use it to do a face swap on our greats?
But they can't do a feet swap, bro. It's still them African feet right there, champ. It's still them nasty feet, nigga. That's how you can tell. All I had to do was look down, like, hold on, that's not Will, nigga. Will would never wear them abominable sandals you got.
The swag ain't
He
there.
would never do that. Nah, it's not
Never.
there, bro.
Never. And Wesley would never rock an oversized t-shirt with an oversized scarf with some denim cut
Like,
shorts.
come on, bro. This ain't NBA.
Damn. Well,
That's not even a tie.
hey, it gets worse and it don't ever get better. Let's get back into it.
This is about it. I will bring the news to you and bring the ideas of how we're going to bridge the gap between Africa and the Caribbean, because we are one people separated by slavery.
How about you start by calling yourself African Caribbeans or African Jamaicans? How about you start there?
And colonialism.
How about you
But
go
it's time
somewhere
for us
where
to
there's
bridge
central air, nigga? You look hot. That nigga's sweating profusely,
said
bro.
earlier.
Nigga skin gleaming, bro. Like, bro, you are hot right now, champ. On my soul, you are thirsty and hot.
the gap. My friends, it's time for us to strengthen each other. Look at the European countries, what they're doing. They're strengthening each other, my friends. And if you're African or Caribbean immigrant living in Sweden, stay there. Stay there on.
He's saying stay there and get your bread. Stay there and don't move until they give you
Why?
money. He's talking about a sit-in, y'all. They won't do no civil rights to fix Africa, but they're going to do a sit-in for a bag. Come on. They doing a sit-in on a countrywide.
Nigga said impose.
He said stay
Impose
there
on
and
these
don't
people
leave.
land, champ. Don't leave. Yeah, that's crazy. That's
And
crazy.
I bet you he was about to say,
land.
and don't leave until you get your money. I bet you.
Your own land
They're
is
strengthening each
diabolical.
other,
That
my
diabolical
friends.
that you don't want to go
And
there.
if you're African or
It's corny,
Caribbean
nigga.
immigrant living in Sweden, stay there. Stay there until they start to give out money.
Nah.
They're gonna.
Damn, this just is a
Diabolical.
new level of down bad. This is a new level. Hey,
Diabolical.
imagine going to a nigga's house uninvited. He feel guilty, and then he lets you in to stay the weekend. Then he's like, okay, time to go home. And you like, no, I'm not leaving until you give me money to go back home.
Squatters, bro. Squatters' rights, bro. These niggas is a nation of squatters, bro. It's crazy.
They taking
Niggas don't want to pay
rights.
no bills, no rent, no electricity, but you niggas don't want to leave.
give out the 34,000 US dollars in 2026. This is 2024.
Damn, he's saying stay 2 more years. He's saying they ain't gonna break bread. They ain't gonna give you money to leave until 2026. So stay 2 more years. Good Lord.
Talking
Good Lord.
about moochers, and you talk about us. This is mooching on a capital level. This is craziness.
Mooching and mooking. If you know, you know.
So you just
Facts.
have just about less than 2 years. Just stay there, lie low, and wait until they give out that money and collect it and come back to the Caribbean. Go to Africa and invest that money. That is reparations to you. That is how we get reparations as well. Let them pay you the 30.
Reparations for what? Africans were business partners
Reparations
with
for what?
Europeans. Y'all were business partners with Europeans. You sold your own people and traded with Europeans for guns and muskets and trinkets, and then later on you let the Europeans settle amongst you, and then when you do bad business deals with them for a few decades, now you want to cry foul and say you're poor and destitute. Even though you have your independence now, you're still poor and destitute. Got your own country, your own land, your own minerals, gold, cobalt, diamonds, everything you can imagine, but you're so poor and destitute because Europeans lived amongst you for what, 60 to 80 years? I don't want to hear it.
$4,000 that they're promising to pay
Diabolical.
migrants to leave the country. Let them pay you that. Come back to the Caribbean, come back to Africa. You can go into business with that money easily. In Africa, for example, land is cheap there. 34,000 US dollars. You can
They
buy
gonna
a
go right
lot
to
of land.
America, nigga.
Exactly.
They gonna get that 30 bands and they going to America to buy a Miri, nigga. Fuck what you talking about? Balenciaga. Fuck you mean, nigga?
Lying and talking about they gonna use the money to build up Africa
Yes,
and
these
invest in
niggas want to
Africa.
be down.
You taking that money and you paying some coyotes to smuggle you into America through the Mexico border. Out of Europe, get some bands, and then come over here.
Migrant encounters, they topped Bill 190,000
there's
people
there's a
in
selfie
December.
on another selfie. You see the wall in the distance, right?
Yeah.
So at some point they came through, whether there was a hole there or a gap in the wall, who knows? But they'll be processed and very.
Damn. They'll be
Wow.
processed.
That nigga was on Instagram Live, bro.
I did it just like my Jamaican
That
brother
nigga
said.
Acne.
I got paid from Sweden, 35K. I bought some Amiri, and now I'm going to the USA seeking asylum. And they are going to give me $3,000 a month debit cards in New York and free hotel
Niggas gonna
stay.
be walking through swamp water in the Marys.
Hey,
that shit crazy.
And build a small, nice home
That shit crazy.
on that land and do farming. Poultry
The
farming.
niggas ready got it out of it.
You plant bananas, yam, maize. The population in Africa is the opposite to the population in Europe. The population in Africa is the fastest growing population in the world, which means you're going to need food to eat. And agriculture would be a great investment. So my friends, take that money from Sweden that they're offering. Take that money from Germany. They're offering around 2,000.
them Africans right now in the UK is going through the purge. They got UK race riots, and the Jamaican man wants you to wait it out for 2 more years in hopes that you get 30 G's. All right. Hey, Stino, have you heard about the UK race riots?
That nigga wildin'.
Come on. They is over there purging.
Nah, I have not. This is the first time that I'm actually hearing about it, bro.
Oh, they over there purging them. Hold up. I might have a clip somewhere. I'm not too sure. Let me see.
That's crazy.
Then the
3 little British pulling backwards.
Supporters warned them that far-right rioters were headed that way. The riots were fueled by misinformation spread online that the suspect
They out
in
there
the deadly
purging.
knife attack was an
You see
Islamic
a
migrant.
niggas, and it's not a soccer game.
Hey.
It's a problem.
For real. Hey, what happened was it was an African who killed these 3 little girls. Some African boy, I think he was 16, 18, somewhere between there. He killed these 3 little girls at a dance recital or something. So Europe started purging them, was like, get rid of all the Africans, send them back home.
3 little girls, Elsie Stancombe, Alice da Silva Aguiar and BB King were killed during that incident.
Damn, guys, we got a Rwandan. We got an African in the UK, a 17-year-old African who murdered 3 little British girls, and then Englishmen had enough. Them Englishmen are rounding up the Africans, and it is the purge over there, y'all. It is the purge.
and shout my name, where is Muhammad? It's scary, and my life is threatened.
Threatened. My life is threatened.
They burn Muhammad's cafe to the ground. Come on. Come on. This is that. Hey, and the Jamaican squatter immigrant investment banker dude wants you to withstand the purge for 2 more years in hopes that if you survive, they'll give you $34K to go back to Africa.
Now, what wouldn't they sell for money? They done sold some of us. They done sold their land. They done sold their gold. And
they're involved in child sex trafficking.
Wow.
The fathers sell their daughters as brides for cattle and dowry.
That's
and
facts.
Shit. Yeah.
That's
what
facts.
will they not sell? Some of them are selling themselves to old European women in hopes of a green card. I mean, that is a very, very valid question to ask. What will they not sell?
Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America? America, America. Beautiful. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Who wants to come back with us?
Now you fucking lying. You lying. Pause it. You're lying. Yo, bro, Shorty had the back neck combo like my son off Recess, the tattletale nigga off Recess. You remember my son?
I know
what's my son name?
Yeah. Mrs. Gertrude, those snitching ass. Yeah.
Yo, I did not think someone was gonna bow down to her. Yo, nah, bro, you gotta play that again, bro. Do you have your passport?
Come on, I'm the king of receipts.
Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America? America, America. Beautiful. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots?
Bro, no. It wasn't Mrs. Gertrude. It was Miss Finster. That's who it was. That motherfucker was reporting to Miss Finster. Hey, these motherfuckers are on one knee proposing to Miss Finster. Come on.
Nah, bro. The second one waited. The second one waited.
Talk about it.
The second one waited, bro, until the first one was done so she could have her own shine.
They got on both knees to propose to Miss Finster. Both knees, son. Both knees. Not one knee, both knees. That goes from proposal to worship. When your ass goes from one knee to 2 knees, that goes from proposal to white worship.
Do you have your passport?
Both knees.
Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America?
Look how second Granny is patient. She waiting. She not giving no answer yet. Here we go. It's my turn. Look at that.
Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Who wants to come back with us to
Damn. Hey, I know that there comes a time, like Umar said, I know there comes a time where every woman needs her cookies crushed, but god damn it, the Africans are giving the Shango stick to Miss Finster.
Come home frustrated and she had a bad day and the things just didn't go right and she ain't gonna want to be caressed and she ain't gonna want to be massaged and she ain't gonna want a forehead kiss. She gonna want her cookies crushed. Every once in a while, your queen is going to want her cookies crushed. And when your queen needs you to crush those cookies, you have to be able to meet the demand. Every sister, I don't care how spiritual she is, I don't care how feminine she is, every once in a while, she want cookies crushed.
Yo, bro, what is that, bro? Bro, he put a black shark tooth out?
Man's pulled out a Pan-African
Nah,
dildo.
son. Nah. See, bro, this why I can't rock with son, bro. Nigga pulled out a dildo made out of pure melanin. Bro, nigga wildin', bro. Like,
Hey, that motherfucking dildo was made out of vibranium from Wakanda.
nigga pulled out a black vibranium dildo. Is crazy.
Hey,
He's
they
a
out
villain.
there giving that vibranium to Miss Finster. Come on,
Nah, bro. Yo, bro, nah. I can't.
US dollars.
I can't.
You could buy land with that in Africa. Take that money that Denmark is offering, France is offering money to. Take that money and go to Africa or come to the Caribbean and invest in our own people.
This nigga never had a real shape up, bro. Like that nigga never sat at a barber and got a real shape up with the alcohol after. Know what I'm saying? Like he never got this shape up, bro. Like I could tell by the depression in his eyes that he's never gotten the shape up. That's a fact. I could tell that, bro. Straight up.
Hey, where is Dave Chappelle when we need him? This needs to be a skit, bro. Like instead of a bank robber negotiating with the authorities with hostages, it's like he doing a sit-in on the whole country. He's squatting 34,000. Go back to Africa. No. I need 60,000. No, for 40,000 is the most we got. 55,000. Like what is going on?
Meanwhile, he's not there. Know what I'm saying? Like he telling niggas to do some dangerous shit, bro. That's dangerous, bro. To be somewhere where you not wanted. Exactly,
bro. Sweating in the jungle.
Exactly,
somewhere.
nigga. It's 3 mango trees right behind him.
The plantations somewhere on his work break. I don't know.
On my soul, nigga. I can hear the chickens in the background. Real talk.
He sound like he got remorse. He said earlier, "I wish I was still in Sweden." Wish he could get sweat.
Then they got an actual house in Sweden. That's
Sweden
why.
until they give out that
Not
money,
a hut.
collect it, and come back home and invest. That is the plan, my friends. And I am happy that Sweden is now doing this because it shows us clearly how the Europeans think. You see how they think? They are different to many of our people. You know, many of our people in Africa and the Caribbean.
Wait, so you thought Europeans thought like Africans? What?
I mean, listen, if you know how they think, you're gonna prove them right. Like, oh, if we give you money, you're gonna leave. Like, I mean, that's what they think, and that's what they couldn't do that to us. To us, you want to know why? Because it's our shit.
And
so they couldn't do that to us.
Worse, if it was Africans, wouldn't they do some Last King of Scotland shit and like just commit genocide on anybody who didn't leave their territory? I mean, you guys are known for going through a village, sending little 6-year-olds hyped up off brown with AK-47s through the village to rape and pillage. So what are you talking about?
On my
like
soul.
Africans are morally superior. What?
I thought niggas had tribes of female warriors. Where are the bald-headed female warriors?
Where's the Dora Milaje and the big ass rhinos? Okay, I see y'all niggas riding rhinos.
Oh, I thought you niggas could tame hyenas.
We like to say we welcome everybody. We welcome everybody. Anybody could come here and do as they like. They can come here, get jobs. They can come from Europe. European Americans can come here and they get jobs, they build homes, they live a lavish lifestyle in the Caribbean and Africa. And we welcome them. But when our people go to Europe, they go to America, they go to Canada, we're treated very badly, my friend.
And you're just now realizing this.
Wow.
And you're just now realizing this.
That's new to me.
And no. And really, he's mostly speaking for Europe because he knows he ain't got no experience in America. He was over there in Sweden and Denmark and shit.
Right.
So when they over in Europe, they get treated badly, but the Europeans go to Africa and Jamaica and shit for holiday, and the Africans and Jamaicans are so accepting. That's on y'all.
Hey, bro,
why
listen.
do you have this weird one-sided relationship with your oppressor?
As long as you can make good jerk chicken with some oxtail gravy, you're good to go in New York, champ. All right. So don't say we treat y'all bad, bro. As long as the oxtail gravy is flowing, you can go ahead and keep going, champ.
And
That's
I
a
never
fact.
had no Jamaican food a day in my life. But one time I was in New York, I forget which borough, and I went to a Jamaican smoothie shack and had me a good peanut butter smoothie. Okay, so shout out to the Jamaican smoothies. I don't think it was anything Jamaican about the ingredients. It was just that shit up, and they made a good smoothie for me that day.
We're not treated right. You consider discrimination. Many of you who live in the US right now, many of you who live in Canada, you live in the UK, you live in other parts of Europe, you know the discrimination that you would have faced over the years in these countries. And the weather is...
Stay home. Like, what are you talking? Like, imagine on the other side of town, we know there's some racist ass white folks. Why would we go and buy a house next to them or beg to live amongst them and expect to be treated well when we know they don't like us? I mean, especially when we have not just our own side of town, but our own continent, our own countries. Like,
right?
Why? Y'all got such a sick fetish with escaping responsibility. You'd rather run to your recent oppressor's kingdom to go work for them instead of staying home and building up Wakanda? Okay. All right.
That's like us apologizing after slavery. Like, yo, you know what? We really just want to go back. Yeah, I'm saying it was much easier this way, bro. Like, yeah, I'm saying let's just get ahead and get back in the field. No, my nigga. We started building our own shit, bro. Like immediately. Like you started building our own stuff, bro. Like, I don't know why they can't do the same. It's like they need somebody else, but then they act like they better than. I can't wait to the next stream. I want to see what Shorty had. Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to violate. You already know. I can't wait to violate.
Hey, if anybody in the chat wants a preview, wants a little teaser trailer of the next stream, go ahead and put some fists and feathers in the chat, y'all. I want to see some fists or some feathers in the chat if y'all want to see a little sneak peek of the next stream, because in the words of Cino, say it for me one time. I'm using you as a soundboard. Whenever I say hit it, Stino, you know what I need you to say. It starts with a D. You know what I need you to say, Stino.
On my soul.
I need you to hit it one time.
This is diabolical.
Absolutely, y'all. Absolutely diabolical. Come on. I see fists. I see feathers in the chat. Look at what we're going to be reacting to on the next stream.
Right here. And guess what? We're right here. And guess what? We're right here. And guess what? We're right here.
But there's a lot.
Wow.
For African Americans,
but
they don't know.
We
the
shouldn't be
culture
attacked.
Started here 400 years ago. It came from Africa. So now you got Senegalese culture mixed in. You got Morocco culture mixed in with African American culture. Even just in Louisiana, gumbo, okra, all that came from West Africa.
The fuck are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about?
People say where you from?
America.
Come on, we about to get
Gumbo
into
is
it
not
on the next stream. She said Gumbo is from West Africa. Oh, man.
Bro, what are
it's about to
you
go down.
saying? Yeah, we about to go crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, without further ado, let's go ahead and segue into the next broadcast. Don't touch that dial. As soon as the outro plays, it'll redirect you into the next stream. I'll drop the link for Stino and anybody else that wants to call in. We'll see you over there in just a moment.
They don't want you to remember this. You not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and the British, man. Quite frankly, you was kings, Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners. Raised up the children to worship their images. Set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them. And this shit get way deeper than your pigment.